Okay, so once you've established where you can get the soft feel in the walk and the trot, the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to do transitions maintaining the soft feel. So these, up until now, we've been working on contact, getting your horse to accept the bit. When we start doing transitions, that's when we start working on connection. Remember, connection is the relationship of the hind leg and to the rein. So I'm going to start them on a circle so that I can keep my horse off my inside leg and into that outside rein. So I'm going to close my legs, ask my horse for a trot transition, and I really want to maintain the soft feel. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. And you'll notice how my hands are here. So whenever I'm on the circle, it's my outside rein is steady. My inside rein is just a little bit flexing and giving whenever I feel her get soft. Now for the downward transition, it's really important that you use your seat and your weight to get your horse to walk, and that your fingers stay suppling. So you can see there how I'm keeping her supple by moving my fingers. And then same thing in the upward transition. So for the walk trot, I check, make sure that I have a soft feel. And then when I close my legs for the trot, I'm using my fingers a little bit to keep her soft. So how much you need to move your fingers in the transitions really depends on your horse. How much you move your fingers in the transitions really depends on your horse. If you have a horse that tends to stiffen, then you might need to do a little bit more of the suppling motion. If you have a horse that's more trained, then during your transitions, your hands can be a little bit still. So it's always like as much as needed, but as little as necessary. Good girl. So a lot of times what happens in these walk trot transitions when you're first starting out is you lose your soft feel. So a lot of times what I see happen is people are going around and their horse is kind of on the bit, and they ask their horse to trot and their horse does that. Like you see how when I asked her to trot, she just stuck her head up. So it's important to, first things first is that your horse always has to listen to your leg and go forward first. But then once your horse understands to go forward from the leg, then you want to say, okay, yes, trot please, but also stay round and supple. And same thing in the downward transition. So like if I'm going to go from the trot to the walk, a lot of times what people do is they just pull on the reins to get their horse to stop. And you can see what happens when I pull on the reins to make the downward transition, then my horse puts her head up and comes above the bit. Good girl. So it's really important, like in order to teach your horse to do these transitions correctly, where they're using their back and their hind end, you have to maintain an independent seat and hand to where your fingers keep suppling and maintaining your soft feel as you make these transitions. Good girl. So make sure that as you're practicing these trot walk trot transitions, you take your time to have a really good quality of trot in between. And then I'm going to think, pull my tummy in, post heavier, supple, 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 walk forward. In the walk, my hands are following forward, 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 forward. Every time she takes a step forward, flex and give on the right rein, close my leg trot, steady in the outside rein, flex and give on the right rein. Notice how my left hand stays on the left, my right hand stays on the right. If she falls in, I don't do that with my hand. I use my inside leg to keep moving her into the outside rein. So it's supple, soft, supple, soft. Walk on. Good girl.